The down through sausage pizza, that one.
Hey, just tell me, layer one is what? Layer two is what? Layer three is what? Yeah, tell me. It's what I want to hear. Guys, you don't, do you study? Do you study at least 2 hours per day? I'm not going to tell you because you don't want to tell me. Me too, I'm not going to tell you. So the 7 layers, so we did compare the TCP IP and the OSI. Then we started learning layer per layer. We started with the physical layer. Last time we did start the switch, the data link layer. So, and we also study how the switch works. Then today we're going to study the network layer, layer 3. Let me go to my notes. CCNA summary. Summary. Guys, you must study. If you don't study, you'll have problems. Okay, let me check my stuff. 21. Subnetting this one. Okay, because it's CCNA1, I'll be very kind by giving you everything. From CCNA2, no ways. So, I have my license already. Network access layer. So at the network access layer, okay, let me go down first. So this is a quick summary. So please read this one for 2 minutes and we continue. It's very important, guys, for you to know this. So read and 2 minutes and we continue. Saturday also I'll bring the register. So all the days you attend the sessions, you need to sign. So I'll bring it on Saturday. Yeah. Okay, so it's very, very important and to know, because if you know this, anything that we'll be doing now is related to this. We did the physical layer, so let me go down to my note down. Sometimes, even if you go to Google, you'll find such thing. So today is layer 3. We'll deal with the router, and we'll be talking about packets, not frames. Packets, and we'll deal with IP addresses, IPv4, IPv6. You see. So physical layer, data link we did, a frame today. So you can also read this one if you want to quickly. Okay, you'll get time to in AutoCAD to check that. What else we can do with transport layer? We'll do next time, next week, and all other stuff we'll be doing next week. And my quick summary that was here, my note that everyone needs that I will never give. Yeah, it's here. Physical layer we did yesterday or last time we did this switch data link. Today we're going to do layer 3, the network layer. So here we talk about the packet, and we'll deal with the logical address or the IP address. Packets. Let me remove this one and put here IP. IP address, or you can say your SIM card number or your cell phone number. So yeah, let me use our PowerPoints to help you quick. Network layer, chapter 8. Okay, I'll give you what is the most important, as you know, of the big picture, network layer. Okay, so in this chapter, we're going to see how to assign an IP address to devices. We have IPv4, we have IPv6, and we have routing table. So I'll try to make it very simple for you. Yeah, let's continue first. Okay, so any device to communicate on the network, you need 2 addresses. So who can tell me these 2 addresses? Any device to communicate on a network needs 2 addresses. What are these 2 addresses?
I'm gonna take a guess, Max.
Yeah.
It's an identification address, so your MAC address, and an IP address.
Okay, great. Very good. So this one, we did that already. We need 2 IP addresses. We need the logical address, this mouse of mine, the logical address or the IP address that we can change, and you can change your cell phone number. And we also need at the layer 2 the physical address or your MAC address. We can never change your MAC address. So we need these 2 addresses so that when the packet will reach the switch will check that address, the physical, your MAC address. Then when your data reaches layer 3, the network, the router also will need that address, will need the logical address. So these 2 are very important. If you don't have them, your packet will not be assisted. It can get lost or discarded. So these 2 IP, very, very important. So today, we're going to deal with IP address. Let me quickly give you the big picture, as you know. What is that thing? Network. Mhm. Okay, this one we'll do today is a bit of mathematics. It's very simple, and it's also confusing if you don't attend the class. That's why I say, please, guys, attend classes, sessions, as much as you can. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, let's go up. Okay, I didn't put anything here, only that one. Okay, it's fine. So guys, we need IPv4 and IPv6. Let me try to check here. IP encapsulation, always. Let me check here. Okay, I'll explain this one a bit later. What I want you to understand first, IPv4. You have some videos. Some videos. I want to find a way to make it simple for you. Okay. Okay. Let me make it something very simple for you. So here, any device, what's that? Yeah. Any device in the network need two addresses. The first one is what? The physical address, or we call it also the MAC address. Can never be changed. The second one is the logical address. We call it IP address. We can change anytime. So these are these two addresses. Now, today we're going to deal with the IP. Most of my, yeah. So we're going to check the logical address. Logical address. We have two types. We have two types of IP. Of IP addresses. So who knows these two? These two. These two. The first one,
That's
IP,
your IPv4.
IPv4. The second one is IPv6. So this IP is like your cell phone number. Vodacom, they have a way of assigning the number. MTN, Rain, or Cell C, or any of them, they have a way of dealing. For example, as an example of IP v4, 192.168.20.52. So we have 4 blocks, you see. 1, 2, you see. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is how it is. Now, an example, and oh, what's that? Let me remove. An example of IPv6. I'm going to show you. I'm going to grab any IPv6 somewhere, and IPv6. There is no example. I saw one. Nope.
Go on to the black one, the in your presentation.
Where?
In your presentation, the 37, page 37.
37.
On the left. 37. 37.
Yeah. Yeah.
There. Where is there?
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Is there? No,
Okay.
there's nothing.
No, there is none. Okay, no worries. So for IPv6, it's a bit tricky. It's a bit long. For IPv6, it's something like 2001, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. So as an example, A, B, C, D again, A, B, C, D again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C, D again. You can have some numbers. You can have 0, 0, 0, 0. So it should be 8 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is an example of IPv6. It's very long. IPv4, it's very short. IPv6, it's very long. So why IPv6? IPv4 is almost finished. It's like let's say, so we have so many devices nowadays, we cannot assign more. That's why we created something bigger, the IPv6, so that we can still continue to assign IPs to people. So in your NETA card, we're going to explain a bit what is IPv4, the header. But for us, we'll get another session to see that IPv4, how IPv4 is. We'll check classification of IPv4. We'll check that we have class A. We'll check we have class B. So this one we'll do a bit later now. And we have class C. For example, if I take I tap, for example, network here, view network connections, and now I'm using my Wi-Fi. Yeah, this is my Wi-Fi here. I double click. I go to properties. Okay, because I'm not administrator, I cannot see. But normally, from here, I can view where I can assign IP or not. All these we'll be doing also. We'll be doing that in the labs. So in this chapter, what we'll be doing, if you have packet tracer, I'm going to open my packet tracer. It's only about how to assign IP addresses to people. To assign IP address, to assign IP addresses, we can assign manually. The IT enters the IP. We can dynamically via a DHCP server. A DHCP server is a server that will automatically send IP addresses to devices. So that device has a pool of IP. So anytime someone contacts that server, is going to automatically assign an IP. So
Mr.
now,
Max,
yes, question.
How many IP addresses are you limited to? Do you know?
Can you please ask again your question?
How many IP addresses are you limited to if you like in a business entity?
Okay, so if you're a business entity, you need to get a service provider, like let's say Vodacom or Telcom. Then you need to purchase and also, thank you for your question. We have also, so this one I put in red to see that it's some topic we'll be doing later. This one also in red, some topic we'll be covering later. Classifications, we'll study that a bit later. And also have private IP, uh, private IP versus public IP. These are some stuff that, so if you are 12, so is also 12 here. So if you're a company and you need a IP address, you need to go to your ISP, your internet service provider, to purchase a public IP. What will be the difference between these two guys? So who knows the difference between a private IP and a public IP?
A public private IP would be address that cannot go onto the internet. It's a local address.
Okay.
And a public IP address, I'm guessing, would be so for example, I would say a private IP would be 192.168.8.0 or something like that, and a public IP would be yeah, that you typing there can go onto the internet.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Mr. Max,
Yes.
with a private IP address, there you said that you cannot go onto the internet, but if you use, I think maybe if there's a proxy and you put the proxy IP address in, you will be able to have internet access for you, full internet access.
Yes. So
Yeah.
this one, we also have a technique that we'll be doing also. Thank you very much for your input. We'll be doing something called NAT. NAT called network address. So it's good to have this info so that when we start this topic, it's easier for you. Network address translation.
Yeah.
Network address translations. So in this one, yeah, private IP addresses are changed to public to go to the internet. So we have a config to do, a settings. So we have many ways. You can have your proxy, but for us CCNA, we will use something called NAT, network address translation, where our private that we cannot use to go to the internet, when it reaches the router will change it, will map it to a public. So to do that, very good. We'll see 1 to 1. It means one private will be changed to one public. Remember, public IP address, they are very expensive. So if you have 100 users and need to buy 100 Public, it means you have a lot of money. So we don't do that in companies. One-to-one, we can have many to a pool. It means what? All privates can use a pool of public IP to go to the internet. No worries if you don't understand something. I'm trying to guide you about anything we'll be doing soon. So you should know the classification of IPv4. We'll explain what is class A, what is class B, what is class C. We'll explain step by step how to assign IP addresses. You can do it manually. We can also do it dynamically. So we'll do some labs for that. Then we have private IP versus public. So we're going to study what is public IP, some examples, what is private IP, some examples. So each class has a public and a private. Public, private, public, private. So we're going to study that a bit later. Now, if you only have private and you don't have enough public, we have some ways, some techniques to make it happen. You can do one private to be changed, to be mapped to one public, or you have many private, and we can use a pool of public, a pool of IP that I have. Let's say I have 20 users, but I only have 2 public IP addresses. So 20 users private to 2 public. So anyone who want to use these 2, we have a way to configure. We'll do that later also. So IP address is how to assign numbers to a PC. I'm going to take a PC here. You see, I go to IP configuration. Then if in the question paper they say add that IP. So you see here on top, you have static and you have DHCP. Static, it means we assign manually ourselves. Ourselves, we assign. If it's dynamic, the PC will automatically get an IP from a server. We'll do that later. So for now, we use the static one. In the question paper, we can say, okay, the IP address for PC1 is 192.168.20.10. And later on, we're going to study what we call subnet mask. And so for now, just click on it and you automatically. So for a PC to go to the internet, it needs a valid IP address, a valid subnet mask, a valid default gateway. What is a default gateway? A default gateway, I'm going to show you now. It's something very simple. I have my switches here. I bring this guy here. I bring a router. And I bring a switch. And I interconnect all of them. Yeah. And we have our internet guy that is somewhere here. We have time to do many times. So Saturday, please, if you can come at CPUT, we'll play a lot with Packet Tracer. I'll help you if you're struggling. And from that date, you'll be fine. Everything should be fine. So let's say this PC, this is the IP address 192.168.10.2. This laptop is IP 192.168.10.3. This guy 192.168.10.4. All these IPs are given in your question paper. So you'll see them there. So now these guys, if they need to go to internet, they need to have what we call a default gateway. Default gateway is what? The IP address of G000 here. You see. So all of them, they'll have one default gateway, the IP address of this interface. Why? Because all of them, they are linked to G000 before they reach the root, before they go inside the router to go to the internet. So it's like the door to go to the internet, a gateway to go to the internet. So all of them, if you open it, we ask for default gateway, you put the address of G000, this interface. So 192.168.10.1. All of them. If you see default gateway, you do that. Subnet mask. And what is a subnet mask? A subnet mask is a number to identify in which network you belong to. Let me write it down here. We'll have time to do that also. Subnet mask, subnet mask. Where this guy is going to bring it here. Subnet mask. Will identify the spy in which network a IP address belongs to. So, any IP address comes with a subnet mask. Any IP address. It's like, for example, my number, my WhatsApp number, 084. So I'm going to write it here. 084 623 6505. Subnet mask, subnet. Okay, let's see. This is my IP. My IP. And now my subnet mask. So if I tell you this number, is it Cell C? Is it Vodacom? Is it MTN? It's what? How will you know? Then with subnet mask, we'll say this one is a Cell C. Cell C. So with subnet mask, it's very important to specify. It indicates this number belongs to which network. This cell phone number is a Cell C number. Or this number is a MTN number. See? So any IP address that we get, for example, as an example, we have 192.168.20.56. Sometimes you'll see /24, or you'll see 192.168.20.56 space 255.255.255.0. We're going to study that. We have chapters for that. So for now, I'm just preparing you. I give you the big picture. So this is something else you should know. Subnet mask. It identifies in which network an IP address belongs to. Because any IP address belongs to a network. Like my cell phone number. Any cell phone number, it can be a Cell C or MTN, Rain or what. So we must specify. So the subnet mask will specify your number belongs to which operator, to which ISP. So this is IP. This is an example of IP 192.168.20.56. 20.56. This is the subnet mask /24. Or the same IP address, and instead of writing /24, the equivalent of /24 is 255.255.255. We're going to study that a bit later. So for now, it's only the big picture. So you can see that at this layer of network, we deal with IP addresses, how to assign, for example, cell number to SIM cards. So what do we do? We say that the classifications, we have class ABC, how to assign IP address manually, that like we did, or dynamically via a DHCP server. We will study the difference between a private IP and a public, how to identify them, what is network address translations, what is subnet mask. So all these things we do at the network layer, and it's the router. The router understands IP addresses. The switch understands frames, MAC addresses only. You see. So these are some stuff that we'll be doing. So no worries, we'll have a lot of time for the network layer. If your device doesn't have your physical address and a logical address, this guy can never go to internet. Remember that. And for now, for us today, we are dealing with logical address or IP address. So for logical address, we did say that we have two types that we'll study, the IPv4, and we have what we call the IPv6. An example of IPv4, this is how it is. An example of IPv6, this is how it is, the very long one. And you can see that in IPv6, we have numbers and some letters. So we need to study what this one means. Okay, so for now, let's stop for chapter 8. We have time to do them many times. Any questions for chapter 8? So when we do our labs, if you say, okay, this PC assign IP, you click on it, you go to IP configuration, then for now it's static because we enter manually. From the question paper, you enter the details and subnet mask. And
Mr. Max, can you go back to your notes quickly?
okay.
That /24 after the IP address, what does that /24 mean?
Yeah, very good question. That's why I say this one we'll study a bit later.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a chapter for that, no worries.
Okay.
Yeah. So quickly, let me have a look on your NetAcad. If it is something I can tell you. NetAcad. NetAcad. Then we go here, instructor. And then we go where your class is here. And we go to chapter 8. Let's see what is there. Content, chapter 8, network layer. So we have introduction. Why should I take this module? Network layer characteristic, IPv4 packet. We'll explain more if you take a IPv4 packet, what is inside. You can read IPv6 and introduction to routing. So a router, yesterday we did check that in the switch we have a table. What type of table we have in the switch? On Monday we did Study that. What type of table we have in a switch?
Is it maybe the routing table?
No. At a switch level, it's not a routing table. Routing means I use IPs.
Okay, so that's on the router.
Yes,
A switch would have a IP address. No, it will have a MAC address table.
very good. At the switch, it only MAC addresses. So here we have a table called MAC address table. And at the router stage, we have routing table. So we have these two tables. So in that table, we have all the networks or all the directions. Remember, if you go to the airport and you don't know where to take your plane, so you ask the security, and hi, I want to go to a yes question. Yes. Question? Okay. So you are at the airport and you don't know where to take your plane for.
My question I want to know,
What's your name? You
you
tell us your name
call
first and you ask your
the
question.
switch Mac
You cannot hear you properly. Can you get a proper headset or something? We cannot understand what you want. Okay, you can check. You
can
can
you hear
ask
me
your
now?
question. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
What's your question?
I want to know for the switch you call it Mac table. My question, when you say for the switch, you call it Mac table. Can you hear me?
Yes, continue. What is your question exactly? Did you attend the session for Monday? Because we did study the switch, we did study the MAC address, we did study MAC address table. You can go back to the recordings. All of you, you have a link for the recordings. So please go back there, watch or study again chapter 6 about switching. That's why I say please attend session. If someone you skip or you miss, it will make your life a bit difficult, I'm telling you. Don't skip any sessions, please, 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 please. And also please study minimum 2 hours per day. If you follow my advices, my guidance, you'll be fine. Guys, quickly, let us finish this one. Yeah. So chapter 8, you can go there and read. If you have any questions, the WhatsApp group is there. Ask your question. If you ask your question, you must specify what is your question. For example, hi guys, at section 8.1.1, I didn't understand ABCD. Can someone explain? Then all of us will jump in. So when you ask a question, specify where did you, chapter 2 or chapter 8 or what, this section, and so that we can all come here and check what is there. So at the network layer, we have IPv4 and IPv6. So this chapter, we're going to describe a bit what is IPv4, general information, and IPv6. So you can read that. I try to give you what is the most important that we need. NetAcad, we give a lot. So sometimes you don't know what is the most important. So me, I give you what, so IPv4 packet, For example, if you open it, what do you see inside? You'll see a lot of information. The source IP, destination, and what. So any section is explained. Source IP, what does it mean? Destination IP, what does it mean? Explain. You have a video where we do some demo and explain also properly. Very important to watch the videos. CCNA, it's a lot of work, a lot of studies. So some students in the old days, they think, oh, it's like A plus or Microsoft Word. No, this one is real IT networking. So we go deeper. That's why I say, please study minimum 2 hours per day. Do not miss sessions. Even if you miss, we have the recordings. Okay, this one is for the network layer. We have another chapter for that, where we'll do, you see, IPv4 addressing. It's where we're going to study all these things I did explain to you here. What is subnet mask, NAT, and all this stuff. We have a chapter for that. Chapter 11. Also, we get time to study IPv6. What are the content, the different type? How do we use and what? So for now, we go step by step. Step by step. So in a router, we have what you call a routing table. It's where we see all the networks. For example, you go to the airport, you don't know where to take your plane. There is a security guy who's there. You ask him, you say, okay, go to gate number 10, or go to gate number 2, or go to this security guy. He knows everything. He knows the destinations. It's the same thing for the router. He knows the destinations. He knows the routes to guide you. So when you say I want to go somewhere, the router will check in the table. Okay, I know where you want to go. Use this way. See, that's why we say router. He knows the route, the networks. He knows all the destinations. We get time to study it also. So guys, for Saturday, we'll be doing these 2 labs that I explained to you. We'll do labs two 255 and 291. Please go through it. Even if you don't understand, open it, you read what is there to have an idea only an idea. So that when we start, at least you understand. If you want to do and you're stuck, write it down. I couldn't do A, B, C, D. So that when we do, Mr. Max, while I was busy doing, I couldn't understand this section. Can you please explain? And we explain for everyone. So next week, Monday, so Saturday, we'll do these 2 and to practice a bit. Very important. Then next week, Monday, we have a very important chapter, chapter 5. Never miss that session. Because we're going to, this will help us for, let's say, the whole CCNA number system. I'll try to guide you a bit for now, just to guide you a bit, so that you have a network. It's too big. Okay, the 7 layers of OSI, you must know them, and please, you must know them. And okay, I didn't specify properly, but this is something we're going to study, this table. So for us human beings, since grade 1 till today, we use these numbers 0 to 9. So we have 10 numbers that we can change. You see, 11 is 1, 14 is 1 and 4. You see. So we use decimal from 0 to 9. This that group of 10 numbers, we use them to combine to do other numbers. That's why we say the decimal. Binary, we use only 2 numbers, 0 or 1. and we're going to combine them to get some numbers. Please mute yourself. Who is that? Mr. Jacques, please mute yourself. Guys, please don't disturb anyone else. If you're not asking question, mute yourself. Huh? Jacques, this is the second time. Third times you'll be out. Please mute yourself. Huh? You're disturbing me. Okay, now we're going to study 3 types of how to organize numbers. The very first one is what we studied from grade 1 till today. We have 10 numbers from 0 to 9. That's why we call decimal. So we're going to use that group of 10 numbers to create other numbers. Binary, we have 2 numbers. Let me put down here. So we have decimal. Why do we say decimal? Because we have 0. Let's say a group of 10 numbers. 10, yeah, 10. Okay. How do you call it? 10 digits of 10 elements. 0, 1, 2, until 9. So we're going to use them to form, we use them to create other numbers, decimal. The other group that we have is binary. Okay, also, guys, your chapter exam is activated. You see the first checkpoint exam, basic network connectivity. To do it, you go in your NETA card, you click on it, and you start. You can do it many times until you get a good mark. So chapter 4, 5, 6, 7, we also have another exam, checkpoint. Anytime you see checkpoint exams, it's compulsory to do them. It's for grading. So from next week, you could be doing this one. But this weekend, please try to do your very first exam, checkpoint exam, basic network connectivity. And you just need to click on it. You'll see the quiz. And it's like the quiz. You choose next. When you are done, you submit, you get your mark. You can do it many times. Then from next week, you should be finishing this one. Next weekend, you should be. Don't delay, because next week already we'll do chapter 5, then chapter 9. And after that, we continue with all. CCNA is not difficult, it's very easy. Only and only if you study and you do your labs. That's all, nothing else.
Max?
Yes, question.
Sorry, Max.
No problem.
Just go to your chapters again quickly, please.
Okay, let me finish this one quickly. A group of 2 elements. We have 0, 1. And we use them also to create other numbers. You see, so we have decimal, we have binary, then we have hexadecimal. Hexadecimal. Then this one is a group of 16. So this one, you see, hexadecimal 0, 1, 2, 3. So from 9, after 9, it's not 10. It's now A, B, C, D, E, F. So on Monday, next week, we're going to study this one. But for now, this is a short description of what you should know. Why we say binary? Binary means 2. We have 2 elements, 0 or 1. So you can see here, 0 or 1, and we combine. Why we say decimal? Decimal, we have 10 inside. 10 elements from 0 to 9. And hexadecimal is a group of 16. That's why we say hexa 16 from 0, A, B, C, D until F. So here is a table, 0 in decimal. This will be equivalent in binary and be equivalent in hexadecimal. If you say hexadecimal A, what does it mean in decimal? It means 10 in decimal. So we'll be doing this one on Monday. So for now, check this 1 minute, then you can ask your question and stop the session for today.
Apologies, Max. Sorry,
No
my
question.
question.
Yes, yes. Mhm.
My question was the order that you had now, in which you on your table near the way you're doing the chapters. What is the order?
Okay, the order is the normal order. Just because we need to study the physical layer, then
Okay.
we did study the data link layer so that we won't get
Okay.
lost. Then we do the network layer. So we finish with 3 layers today. Then now
Okay.
we're going to do number 5. After that, we do the normal order.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you see here, after the physical layer, we're going to explain numbers. Then we come back to data link layer. You get lost. That's why I did layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. You see, now that we are done with layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, then we're going to start with numbers we'll be using to manage them, to manipulate them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. So after next week, from next week, we do the normal chapters. With normal chapters.
Thank you, Max.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, any other questions before we end this session? Any other questions? Please ask questions. Huh?
Okay. I see there's a question in the chat for you, Max.
And what is the question?
The last one. I'm struggling to get Packet Tracer to run on my PC on my laptop.
Okay, so Daniel, when you say struggling, what does it mean? Because normally you download, you click, next, and done. So when you say struggling, what does it mean? Can you please explain? That's why Saturdays, if you can come, you bring, I see what you're struggling with, then I help.
It's not opening.
Then I don't know. I need to see what's happening. I cannot guess. Take some pictures, send it in the WhatsApp group so that we can see the error message, or because it's easy, simple for everyone. You install, you click on it, next, and done.
And then Max also, classes are from 11, you said 10 or 11?
No. It's 10:00. We finish at 12:00. It's 2 hours.
Perfect. Thank you.
So we open the labs maybe 10 to 10, 9:50, and with 12 when we go home. It's weekend. So if someone comes at 11:30, then you'll do only half an hour. That's all.
All right. Thank you, Max.
Okay, pleasure. So also please come on time. We know it's difficult weekends, but it's only for 1 year and we are done. Not even 1 year, only 10 months. You sacrifice yourself. Yeah. You sacrifice yourself and okay, so if no other questions, then thank you for today. Saturday, we'll be meeting at CPUT. And yeah. So if you have questions, please come on Saturday now. Saturday, then we'll meet you there. And yeah. Thank you very much, guys. Have a